This is Matt for Into Boxing, delighted to be joined by the two-time IBF champion of the world. Josh, I hope you can put a few sentences together with your broken jaw. But yeah, first of all, before we talk about what happened a couple of weeks ago, Conor Benn tonight he was destructive in there. Talk to me about his performance. What do you make of it?
Oh, it was exceptional. It was spiteful. Did everything that he set out to do. We wanted to make a statement, wanted to finish it early, and that's what he did. You know, every punch that he throws, it's got venom in it. Yeah. You know, he punches to it, and a fantastic performance. I thought he did really well tonight.
Do you see sort of some of yourself in there? Because you don't really have many throwaway punches. What I'd say is like a pouring jab. You go in there, every shot's like, it's a crack. Do you see some of yourself in there with him? Some tendencies and some of the things he does?
Yes and no. Yes, because like you said, the ferociousness and the pace and stuff. But no, because when I was at his age, I was pulling off the punches a little bit. I wasn't always as keen to go as aggressive. I was aggressive and going forward, but I'd always be wary of what was coming back. I kind of half pull off the punches and I throw like big numbers, but I wasn't really sitting down on them. I like kind of moving off them as well. So although I didn't have many knockouts in the probably domestic stage, and there was times when I had guys hurt, but I'd pull off because I would always like wanting to just win the fight. He just carries on going. You know, I feel like that performance I did of weekend over the last few years has been more like a young Conor. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So.
When you talk about your knockout ratio and your power and stuff like that, I think it was Carl Frampton that said he got in the ring and he was like, well, he's not punching like with pillows. He can actually crack, and you proved it against Kiko as well, because you had something in your eye that night. It was like you were leaving this ring going out with a knockout. How pleasing, how satisfying was last week? I didn't get a chance to catch up with you. I caught with Max, I caught with your dad, and they were speaking for you. You went to hospital. Talk about the emotion of that fight, because it meant a lot to you, didn't it? You could tell after.
Oh, massively. I'm champion again. I think I put a lot of pressure on my shoulders because you hear people talking beforehand, careers online and all this stuff, and I had not thought about it. You know, Eddie was talking in the press conference, somebody's career will finish tonight. I was like, really? Okay.
That surprised you? You're like, what, you're 31?
31, you know. I've had one slip up in 11 years. I think I'd say what many fights I've had now? 33.
Yeah.
You know, 20 odd of them have been a championship level fight. Yeah. You know, and I've had one blip, that's it, and obviously the draw because what happened. But yeah, I felt like pressure on myself then, and I've not felt that all camp. It's like 10 days before fight. I thought, shit, make sure I can do the business here. But yeah, I obviously was a bit relieved to do it. I felt it was a good performance, and felt like I was back where I left off when I first signed with Eddie.
Yeah, because remember when we had the interviews, we were always talking about you fighting for that belt that you've not lost, and it was almost like I'll just take you back. But yeah, it was a brilliant night. Everyone's talking about what's next for you now. I take it, obviously you've got options on the table, I suppose, once everything's fixed and your hand's better. You've got the Leewood fight. I'm sure Navarrete is an option. In your heart of hearts, you want that trip abroad, don't you?
Yeah.
You want that passport. You want that Ricky Hatton moment where you see how many fans you can do in Vegas or something, don't you? If you're honest, that's what I see when I think, what would I want to do if I were you next?
It's what I want the box I want to tick off. You know. Yeah, horses, appetising fights with like Leewood, but I think the big fights are always going to be there. When I won the world title, I had the big man at the time were Carl Frampton, Mel Santa Cruz, Gary Russell Jr., Oscar Valdez. I was able to fight Frampton, right? I want to fight Valdez, I want to fight Santa Cruz next, or Gary Russell. I never got the chance to. I had to fight Mandatory and Guy Gallard. Then Valdez had disappeared and moved up. There were talks of like Shakur Stevenson, that didn't happen. Santa Cruz were in hiding, and Gary Russell learning the fights was a century. So when I become world champion first time, they were the men, and the only ones left in the division now is Santa Cruz. You know, he's over in the States, he's a big name. People in Leeds know about him, people in this country know about him. Let me go fight him. Let me have that moment. I've done Henley, I've done Ellen Road. I've done Leeds Arena 10 times. I've done this place against Carl Frampton fight a year. You know, you want to be part of the big fights.
Yeah.
I hadn't won the world title and thought I want noddies. I hadn't done that. I had Sofian Takuch, who were meant to be a bit of a, steadier fight, but I don't want to be in big fights, you know. Santa Cruz is a big name. Let me get them, or Mike Magaseo, or Emil Navnetti. Then I'll come back. I'll fight Lee Wood in his own backyard. I'm not bothered. I'm not asked about going there, but I don't want to get to the end of my career and think, it would have been nice to go to America, but when it never happened, you know, just let me go do it. Fuck me, I've been asking for long enough.
I was going to say you were asking when you had the belt. You then gave up the belt to try and navigate into a different position. You had the slip up. You come back, done it in an impressive fashion. Obviously, you had the Lara that finished the way it finished. But now I think the Josh Warrington storybook, however you want to do your career, whether it ends in America or it carries on after it, that needs to be a big check off. And you know, fingers crossed we get to see it. Look, I appreciate giving us some of your time. Thanks for talking to Into Boxing. And
so I was just going to quickly say, listen, I've got I hate to call them fans, but I've got supporters. I've got lads who followed me from the leisure centres, the town halls. Yeah. They've been waiting. They've had credit cards. I don't know how they've got credit, but they've got credit cards and they're ready to wait, and they have done for many years. And it's a thank you for them to, you know.
For the support.
It's for the support. It's to make the trip. It's like it's going to be whenever. How many times we go, I don't know, but the first time will be like a massive stag do. Well, I won't a stag do because massive stag do and end do because there was women supporters who come there as well. You know, they love it. They've been following me a long time. So just for all ultimate memories, hey, we were there when we were at Town Hall. We were there at the leisure centres. We were there when he first went to Arena. We were there in Vegas. It's memories, innit? It's history.
I'm not being funny, but your fans would drink the MGM dry. Fucking hell, Josh.
They do me proud. They do me proud.
Yeah, they did whole of Yorkshire proud that night. It was fucking incredible. Josh, thanks for talking to Into Boxing, and we'll catch up again. Fingers crossed when you have an announcement and you're back in camp. Top man.
Thanks, mate.